What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of My Hero Academia Season 4. First off, apologies for the delay of this review. Been busy. Of course, as you guys mentioned, I said this is my reaction at finals. I know I said I was going to get this done on Monday, but I had my finish my final on Monday, and then, and then for the rest of the day, I was just kind of relaxed and be like, yes, finally, I got it done. And I ended up completely forgetting to do it, so, and I ended up just watching Watchmen. So yeah, guys, so I'm doing it now. Once again, sorry, but hey, let's just jump right into this episode, because this episode was fucking amazing. Like, Kirishima was awesome. Like, Kirishima is, I would say, is probably now in my top 5 favorite hero heroes. I love the dude. And Mina, I've never been a big fan of Mina. I've never hated Mina, but I was like, oh yeah, Mina, she's cool, but I'm really starting to dig Mina now, low-key, So, but Kirishima, black hair. Nah, fam. No. Nah, fam. But anyway, let's just jump right in. So he starts episode off with Tamaki. The man says, like, alright, the battle's already won. He's like, alright, you got the toxin should be going through your body at this point. Don't worry, you're not gonna die, but you won't be moving either. I'll take these masks with me too. Who knows what else you keep inside these? And Tamaki's like, alright, if I stay too long here, I gotta catch up. So he tries to move forward, but the dude instantly collapses and passes. He's like, I guess I took more damage than I thought. We then head over back to Kirishima and the guys. They're all running, and Kirishima's like, he's worried that whether or not Tamaki can actually do it. Fat Gum is like, well, I guess my vote of confidence means jack shit if they haven't seen him do anything. And then in a nice sly move, Fat Gum uses Kirishima's only weakness to turn his opinion around: manliness. He's like, listen, you don't trust a comrade, we left behind a comrade because we can trust him. If you're a real man, you trust him. Yeah, you're right, he can do this, no problem. And Izuku's like, it doesn't take much to convince you, does it? And then he's like, yeah, let's go. Then Rockcliffe's like, can this kid calm the fuck down? And then Aizawa mentions how the room has been shifting around, which has the room is completely stationary here. No Inception shit going down right here. And so he thinks about what that could lead. It means that could mean that Mimic can only be able to take care of only sections of the building. He can't control the whole basement in its entirety all at once. Or that his body, and they also mentioned that maybe where the area he's controlling is where his body most likely is. And we also see Mimic currently in the area where Tamaki was. He's like, duh, they only could take down one hero, garbage or not. But they're garbage or not, they're supposed to be strong, Which actually, one thing I gotta mention. I didn't mention this in my review last week, but I'm gonna mention it right here. I actually didn't know this until I watched Chibi's review of the episode. Was actually Horikoshi has actually been doing a lot of cruel stuff recently. Now he's also done some stuff with Kirishima and the difference in heroism, which we'll talk a little bit about that. But honestly, low key, I'm actually thinking about doing a video on the parallels between Kirishima and Izuku and their different versions of heroism, or just a different version of heroism in general. The guys that just go balls to the wall insanity, fuck my life, I'm just gonna save everybody, and the guys are like, oh, you know what, my life is actually important, maybe let's not go all the way with that, like guys with Kirishima to an extent, and guys like Crimson Riot. We'll talk lightly about that in this review, but I'm also going to be doing that all in a separate video on the parallels of Izuku and Kirishima. That'll be my episode discussion for Season 4. So that's going to be taking the place of the Sir Night-Eye video. The Sir Night-Eye video I'm going to do, but I honestly don't know whether or not I should pull the trigger on that right now. And I'll make the Sir Night-Eye video its own standalone video, not connected to the episode. So, yeah. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. So, where was I? Oh yeah, Aizawa. So he's thinking about it with I was back with the 3 guys. So yeah, he also mentioned how Chibi mentioned how that Horikoshi had those 3 guys, that the villains use the power of friendship to their advantage, which is actually very original. I've never seen that done before. And yeah, so that's actually something I'd never even noticed when I was watching the episode, how they use the power of friendship, one of the most OP abilities in anime, especially in stuff like Fairy Tail, and he used it for the villains, which is just such an interesting concept, man. I gotta give props to Horikoshi. So anyway, back to the episode. So Mimic is right there, and then he's like, wait, it's all because of him. And then we see the camera kind of moving around fastly, going over to where Aizawa is. Because, of course, he has an eraser quirk. You get rid of him, you're pretty much good. You won't have to worry about your quirk in the race if he's out the picture. So it just happens. So we see Mimic try to take a chunk of the wall and just come charging right towards where Aizawa is, leading into this hole to where Kirishima and Facum end up. So he goes, and so he's about in there. He's like, oh, he's trying to take me out. Facum rushes. We see Izuku as well as Kirishima and Facum all rush towards it. Facum manages to push Aizawa the way. And he's like, we need to make sure we can't let this happen, otherwise, Tamaki stay back for anything. Come on, Eraser, do your thing. So he gets stuck in there, and then once they get out, after Facum is done spin dashing out over there in the hole, he finds that the Kirishima's right under. He's like, "How did you get here?" He's like, "I went to go find Mr. Aizawa, and I just got stuck." So then we see two of the guys that were not actually part of the little handouts they were giving about the guys that are working for Shihei Saikai. None of the guys, or for the Saikai, these two guys were not on that list, and the guys that Kirishima and Facum are facing off against. So Facum tells them to get ready. We're not alone. So Kirishima, he's ready. He's ready for a fight. Dude comes in there with these things wrapped around his arms. This dude reminded me of Star Platinum, because that's essentially what he is. The man just punches really hard and really fucking fast. So I might make JoJo edits on my Twitter. I might throw those together. I'm not sure yet. But anyway. So Kirishima's like, alright man, come on, I'll break your fist. He hardens up. I'm pretty sure he was in his unbreakable form right here, although he might not have been. And he's ready to go at it. Then the dude punches Kirishima, and it just goes right through. He couldn't absorb the attack, and from there you see him hit against the wall, and his arms just start to chip away. You see pieces of his hardening just come off, and you just see some blood. And from there Kirishima lost the fight. At least the mental fight for a moment, because the man just starts shitting on himself, talking about how he has low self-worth, and you really see his low self-worth, self-confidence, or self-esteem, whatever you want to call it, with him and his quirk, really start to show up right here. And my God, I gotta give major props to the dub voice actor for Kirishima. I don't know who voiced him off the top of my head, but shout outs to you, man. You did an amazing job right here. I gotta give huge props to him. So you had him. So you have Kirishima, he's like, he just broke out my hardening. Damn it! You broke your hardening broken. There's nothing underneath it. And there's some other lines which we'll get to that in a minute. And from there, we just see Facum just get wailed on. The man just starts punching him. You see some of his his clothing start to rip up. There's some arguing back and forth between what's his name? Between the two guys, I forget their names. They're slipping off the top of my head. Although I like it when the dude in the kimono shows up. They start playing some old Japanese. There's that flute thing. He's like, Master Overall, show some respect, as they're bickering. And the dude tries to go out and start attacking him because they're bickering so much. And the dude puts a barrier around him. He's just like, what do you think violence like this will call? What do you think violence like this will solve? And he tells me, no barriers. He doesn't want any barriers. Because to him, a real fight, you using a knife or a gun is the pussy's way of fighting. You killing a man with your own bare fists, now that's a real fight. And he says, all I want is a good death match. Which, fam, if you want a good death match, you might want to call up John Moxley. You might want to give him or Joey Janela a call. Just a little heads up on that. But back to Kirishima. The man is, like I mentioned before, he's just railing on himself and ragging on himself, and he's like, damn it, it's just like it was before. You can't do it. And he's like, and we get this one shot of Kirishima. I gotta give major props to the animators and studio both, because this shot looked amazing here. The art animation here, and he says, can't I do anything? And I'm not doing the scene justice enough. Y'all just gotta go back and rewatch it with the dub. The voice acting there was just absolutely fantastic, and the guy in the kimono mentions he's already lost the fight. You can see it in his eyes. He's finished. From there, he's like, it's just like, and like before, he's ragging on himself from what happened back then, which we're about to see which year. This episode, and from here, this episode just got fucking epic. I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but this was definitely the best episode of season 4 so far, and definitely worthy of trending last night or a couple nights ago because of this section right here with Kirishima's backstory. So anyway, we head over back to Kirishima back when he was in middle school. So this dude out there is getting roughed up a little bit by these two guys. It's like bear creature. He's like, so, We heard that your quirk allows you to turn anything into money. So why don't you turn these leads into some dollar bills, fam? And he's like, I can't do paper bills, and plus they go, and plus the quirk, and plus the effects wear off very quickly. Well, then we're just gonna have to spend them real quick. And so the dude's trying to get him like, fam, I can't help you. But these guys say, listen. So the Kirishima comes out there, decked out with his black hair that, Jesus Christ, is such an eyesore. I'm like, oh my God, why is it not red? No, dye it red, please. It's almost like looking at D. Bryant without his beard. You know, it just looks wrong, man. Although I won't lie, him returning back to the American Dragon to look at TLC with short hair and like very little beard, it also didn't look as bad as I expected it to be. It didn't look as bad as I expected it to be. At least he's not completely clean shaven. So yeah, but anyway. So Kirishima comes in there, he's like, hey man, you try to start, he tries to get involved in this, he runs towards him, and the dudes are like, who the fuck is this guy? He's like, Kirishima, third year, and he comes charging in, so he activates his hardening quirk, and then this dude the other just throws a fucking rocket down, not like some small rock, not like the rock size of your palm, like a big ass rock that's about the size of my laptop screen, like it's damn near a boulder size, and he just tosses it right in his head, and he's like, don't worry, his quirk doesn't make him harder to defeat, it just makes his skin harder. So, and then they leave off with the guy, Kirishima. Then Kirishima's friends come out of the bushes. Why they were in the bushes in the first place is a question I want to know, but no one was asking that question. And then they're like, wait, you guys were, and then Kirishima looks at him like, wait, you guys were there the whole time? And the guys are like, why do you always stick your neck out like this? And he mentions that it's because I have a chivalrous heart. As long as you have chivalry in your heart, you will become a great hero, which is, about his Red Rights mantra. Now, I mentioned this before, but honestly, guys, right here in this whole section of the episode, while this is my favorite part of this episode, I'm not going to go as much detail in here as much as I probably would have, mostly because, like I mentioned before, I'm going to save my thoughts on this section for my episode discussion. So, yeah, I'm going to talk about it a little bit, but I'm not going to go super in depth. I'm going to save it all for the video, for my episode discussion video, which will probably not come out until like a month after this, because I will be using anime clips, and Toho Animation's probably gonna claim me, so you'll see, so it'll probably end up being a while, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, let's just continue. So he goes on about that, and about, being chivalry hard. The guy's like, dude, nobody believes that nowadays, and Kirishima goes after them again. But then Mina comes in there, and now we know Mina's quirk is acid, like, she can fire off acid. Does she also have a secret telepathy quirk I am unaware of, or telekinesis quirk? Because first she starts yelling at the guys, then they're cool, then they just start fucking breakdancing for no reason, and then they all leave, and they're like, oh yeah, bye. I'm just looking, and I'm looking at this along with Kirishima. I was being like, Nani? Do you have a secret telepathy quirk I am unaware of, Mina? Like, what the hell? But anyway, so they leave off. A couple of her friends show up being like, oh, hey, Mina, we're going to go shopping. You want to come with us? And she's like, oh, yeah, sure. So they go off. And then one of his friends puts his hands on his shoulder saying, like, Mina wants to go on DUA. She'll probably go in there, got a flashy quirk. People like her. Her reaction time is good. And he's like, that is what it's all about nowadays. Approval ratings and entertainment value. So from there, get some other stuff between these guys talking to each other back and forth, mentioning about how they're both going to plan that some of them that they don't plan on going to UA, or one of them mentions like, hey man, you're going to try to go for UA. They're like, oh please, no more people like us don't go to UA, yada 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 yada. And he also asks him if Kirishima wants to go into this one school, and he's like, oh, I don't know, I haven't really thought about it. Now he has one of like those, like, I guess school forms or whatever, or whichever one of your top 3 choices, and number 1 is UA for Kirishima. And he's thinking to himself that he's wondering, like, oh yeah, if I had a flashier quirk, would I be able to, have the confidence to sign up for the hero course in UA? Because, he's like, we see this a lot of times with Kirishima about how non-flashy his quirk is, all it does is harden his skin, but he's like, but every time he would like kind of like downplay himself or just go get down on himself, he was like, but no, as long as you have chivalry in your heart, your spirit will make up for what you're lacking in your body or your quirk or whatever. From, of course, more stuff from Crimson Riot. So anyway, after that, we get to the main juice of the episode right here. So Kirishima, there's this big guy. This big, like, 8-foot tall guy coming after them. And he's like has his hand on top of the wall, and there's these two like middle school girls that are Mina's friends, being like, "Where is the?" I also could not make up half the shit he was saying, but he was asking for some hero agency. He's like, "Where is the hero agency?" And these two girls are struck with fear. They're not saying anything because they're just scared shitless. I'm shocked they didn't piss themselves. And the dude asks them, he's like, "It's a simple question. Why won't you answer me?" So then Mina comes rushing in. Kirishima is like, Kirishima's like looking around, be like, "Oh, why are there no heroes patrolling around the times like this?" And he's like, "You know what? I'm gonna do it." Kirishima's gonna come out there. He's like, "You know what, man? I'm gonna come in here and I will go do this. I will go in there and save the day because I have chivalry in my heart, and that's what a hero does." But he doesn't. He drops his bag, but never moves. Because he's struck with fear. Fear. And he just stands there, frozen. Mina comes rushing in there and tells her the directions of the agency, and the dude is like, "Thank you very much," and just walks off. And then Mina falls to her knees and be like, "Oh, that was so scary!" Then we get to Kirishima back in his room. He's like, I forget exactly what he said, but he said something along the lines of, when your back is against the wall, when fear takes over, that's when your true colors are revealed. Which, of course, and then Kirishima realized that he is not manly at all. He is not worthy of being here, because we see him scratch out Yue on his thing. He says, like, "I'm not a hero. I'm not even a man. I don't have chivalry. I just stood there, frozen in fear." He mentions the first time, when he first got his quirk back when he was 5 years old, he accidentally cut his eye. How the man can still see, I don't know, but whatever. But I guess maybe he didn't really cut his eye, maybe cut his eyelid, I'm not sure. But that's the first time that, and ever since then, he's kind of hated his quirk. And that's probably why he admired Red Rider so much. So then he just like throws some shit over at one of his bookshelves, and then out there becomes this little like projector with an interview that Crimson Riot took over. Which this was probably the best part of the episode for me. So the interviewer asks Crimson Riot, "So you have a tendency to be judged as a bit reckless, often charging headfirst into danger." And she asks him straight out, "Tell me, do you fear death?" And he's like, "What kind?" And this is my best impression of his W. "What kind of question is that? Of course I'm afraid. Show me someone who isn't afraid of death, and I'll show you an idiot." "Well then, fam, you gonna look too far. I mean, all mine's just right there." But that, and he goes on and explains that what really drives him, like what is his driving force, is not the fact of judging headlong into danger because it's the right thing to do. It's not that. It's not just charging into head first. Fuck death. If I die, okay, whatever. Let's just go in there and save life. It's for him. It's not regretting anything. And I want to talk about. I want to just get off my thoughts right now, but I gotta hold myself back for the video. But yeah, like going in headlong into danger and not regretting everything, because when he was back as a sidekick, he froze and he let someone die. And death isn't what he isn't scared of most. It isn't that look of death, die. It's the look of seeing someone it's the look of someone he failed to save die. That look in their eyes when they realize you failed them and they're going to die, which I can only imagine. I mean, I can't think of any examples from like comic books or movies that I can really think of where that's actually happened. But I can imagine for a hero, the look in their eyes when that happens has to be, that will scar anybody. Any hero, that will emotionally scar them for life. Which, and that's when Kirishima at this point starts crying. The music here was fucking amazing, man. Like, oh my god, I loved the music here. And from there on, that was pretty much all Kirishima needed to, alright. He had his confidence back, and he was going to attend UA. You see him train a little bit. You even had him like studying, and he had like a bandana on that said "Certain Victory" on it, which I thought was funny. You see him in UA, you see him in the courses, and then you see him get accepted, and people start celebrating with him. And then we head over back to when he's about to make his first jump to UA. Man has his red hair, thank Christ, and there's Mina. And right here, man, I won't lie, I ship Kirishima and Mina now. I ship them. I already mentioned it before a couple weeks back that I knew this was a popular ship. Yeah, I ship it. After this episode, I ship it. So Mina sees Kirishima and she's just like, huh? What's with that hair? And Mina here, man, I thought Mina was fine. She was cool. But right here, Mina started to really I started to really like Mina here. Like, when Kirishima's going on about he doesn't want to regret anything now, and, or before that, actually, when he showed his friends that he was going to go to UA, he ends up apologizing to those girls, bowing before them, and saying, like, I'm sorry, I froze, all shit. And the girls were like, oh, don't worry about it. Anyone would have been scared. And then they said, he was just special. I.e., he was retarded. I bet you can't make fun of mental illness, man. Don't worry, I'm autistic. It's good. But, so back to what I was saying. So Kirishima's going on about how he doesn't want to regret anything now. He's not going to regret anything. And Mina's just like, And she has, like, her hand on her chin and everything. Like, I gotta say, I love Mina there, man. Like, her little mannerisms be like, okay, I love that for some reason. And she also says to start punching him, being like, don't be so eagerly to change who you are. And then she's like, once you get over yourself, tell me, okay, I might stay quiet now, but I'm eventually get tired when I'll have your little makeover. I love it full. If I would have to rank Mina on the best girl scale for Hiroaka, I'd probably put her a solid 4th place, because I would probably have Uraraka as number 1. I would probably have Bubble Girl number 2, mostly done to the fact she's voiced by Vidal, Cara Edwards. Number 3, I'd probably put Cammy, because I won't lie, I did like what I saw of her, even if it was Toga, and hopefully we get to see the real Cammy soon enough, which I believe we are, actually, probably like season 5 or something. And then I would probably put Mina under her. Or I'd probably put Mina over Cam, so she would probably be in like 3rd place. So, yeah. And from there, we head back to the modern day, where Kirishima, he has a spear back, and it's about to go down. And we see Falcom. That man is beaten to shit. He's like, you see his hair at this point, which is blonde hair. He starts coughing up blood, and the dude's like, what the hell, how are you still standing? And I'm like, yeah, how the hell are you still standing? That flashback lasted a good solid 5 minutes. How the hell are you still standing? So Falcom's like, he's like, well, you thought I was just a shield. Well, now you're going to regret that decision. My body, and we find out that how his quirk works is that now we know that it's like very similar to Choji, where he has to be fat for his quirk to work, and we know that he's kind of like Kirby almost, where he can kind of suck people into their stomachs, low key. But we find out actually is that he can also do and absorb damage. He can also take that damage that he takes from other people and absorb it to at least a massive punch. You can take that, and he can take that. And he takes the pouches he takes within his fat to, unleash a powerful attack. Which, he's about to unleash. He's like, I don't know if I can do it. But then Kirishima comes in there, blocks him, and then he just starts punching Kirishima. He's like, my bad, I'm not going to regret anything anymore. If my body breaks, I'll just reharm it again. I'm just like, yeah, man, let's go. You got some episode reaction? Y'all know I was losing my shit right around here. And the Kirishima goes for a punch, but then the dude puts a barrier up. He's like, what, the barrier now? He's like, of course, don't be a fool. And he's like, that boy's punch was done in vain. It wasn't in vain. And then we see Falcom, which now we have to call him Fictum, because the man's ripped as hell. He got some abs. He's looking good, man. I'm like, yo, Falcom, you actually look pretty good, man. Like low-key, And, wait. Let me talk about this before we jump right back to what I was going to say about Falcom and his quirk and everything. So Falcom then charges up his punches the wall, barrier breaks, and they're both sent to the walls, and that's pretty much where the episode ends. Now, one last thing before we end this episode off is Falcom and his quirk. Now, we know with this quirk we learned here that his quirk is very similar, that he has to be fat for his quirk to work, so he can absorb attacks, as well as use that absorbed energy, so that he can then unleash that in a powerful attack. Now, with a quirk like that, growing up probably wasn't the easy thing for him. Because, let's be honest, kids are assholes! So he would probably often be bullied about that, be like, oh, you're fat, you have to be fat to, do your quirk. And people probably often insulted him for it and bullied him for it. But now it doesn't seem to affect him anymore because he has more of a happy-go-lucky kind of personality. Falcom's kind of the type of guy where at first I'm sure we all thought that he was just gonna be like, oh, he's a cute character, I like his design, but he's not gonna, and he's gonna be like a fun character to be around, but he's nothing major's gonna happen with him, which wasn't the case from this episode. But we know that he's learned from that, and it's kind of funny when you think about it, because the two guys he's working under him Kirishima and Tamaki are both guys that have self-confidence, self-worth issues. Because with Tamaki, as I mentioned before, the dude's a parody of Sasuke. So, of course, he's the edgiest of edgelord and is always depressed. Be like, oh, you know. And Kirishima, he's always beating himself up about his self-worth, not feeling he's worthy because, you know, he always keeps mentioning about how his quirk isn't flashy, how it's not as flashy as some other guys like, Bakugo's or Izuku's or Kaminari's quirks. It's a very blah kind of quirk. I mean, all it does is harden your butt. That's not very, holy shit, you know? And so I thought that was kind of interesting. I didn't even notice it until Chibi brought this up in his review of the episode about that little parallel there with, you got a guy that probably had some self-confidence issues growing up because of his quirk, and then he's taking on two guys that have self-confidence issues to help them, beat their, their little self-confidence issues. Also, there's also other characters like Shinso and Hirawaka that we've seen that also kind of has a similar problem with everyone kind of, with calling his telekinesis quirk he has, where he can mind control people as like, oh, that would be a villain's quirk, So, which I thought that was a nice little touch there from Horikoshi. So yeah, guys, I'm ending here. Overall, this was the best episode of Season 4 by far. It won't be my favorite for Season 4, I know that much, because of what happens with Izuku and Eri, and I know that much, so that's going to be high. But yeah, guys, I'm ending here. Overall, I give this episode a 10 out of 10. So hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, flag, at least down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.